right. Morning, YouTube. I'm back out here on West Lake. And it is 5 o'clock in the morning. I've actually been up since 3:30. Already seen a bunch of deer actually coming in here. It's kind of cool. No coyotes, that's good. This time I did remove the bike lock first. I kind of edited that out of last week's video, but I had left the bike lock on the boat as I drove it into the water and couldn't figure out for the life of me why I couldn't get it off the trailer. That would be why. So, do it right this time. It is the weekend after the 4th of July, and it is 51 degrees out. It is cold. I don't think I'm going to be wading into the water today. In fact, I may actually just put my microphone on my hoodie here and zip that up the rest of the way. It's pretty cold. But unbeknownst to me, I am fishing under a setting full moon. This should be pretty good. Fishing under a full moon or a new moon is always good. Fishing under a rising or a setting moon is always good. Combining the two is like magic. So, last week's video, I hit this place really nicely. Got a nice bass back along the shore. It's a little windier today. Coming out of the north this time rather than the south. So we'll see how that goes. But paired with the moon, time of day, this should be pretty good. That worked pretty good. I haven't gotten wet yet. Yes, the kayak is tied off. Hooked it to my trailer. Actually, that wasn't too bad. I didn't bring my camera, but there are a pair of deer on the point up there. Marking bait fish below me. Getting nibbles here. Wow. I had a big, gigantic bite on that thing and I missed it. There it is. Oh, this thing is big. How is that? Get my rod back in my lap here. How is that for a fish, first fish of the morning? Nice largemouth. Yeah, he definitely hit it earlier. Not much of a belly. So we're definitely post-spawn here. Very nice. I can get her back in the water. Yeah, she's ready to go back. Oh, yeah. And then, just to follow that up, settle down. I get this little crappie right here who hit it just on the surface. So, two species in the boat. I've been on the water for 15 minutes. I'm starting to drift a little shallow. So, that bass was sitting on a hump in, I think it was a little deeper at the time. I'm marking 10 feet of water right now. I think it was like 11 and a half, maybe 12 feet of water. But that hump went up about 3-4 feet. So decent sized rock, sandbar, hard to really tell. But she was sitting right on top of that thing, and there's a school of smaller fish. And I marked that on the fish finder before I marked her. So that tells you right there, look for the signs of the fish rather than the fish. Still, nope. Didn't even see whatever that was on the fish finder. That came out of nowhere. Missed him. It's hitting hard and fast like a perch. I'm wondering if, oh, nope. It's our smaller brother. There we go. That guy hit pretty good for a little guy. About 12 inches. Go back in. They're feisty this morning. I actually undid the clip on my my spinner here. So small presentations seem to be the key this morning to getting these bass. A little deeper here. I hit both of those guys on crappie jigs on little mini spinners. "20 minutes on the water, 3 fish." Oh, hold that thought. 4 fish. 3 species. Nice colored bluegill here. Right through the corner of the mouth. Look at that color. Love these little guys. Normally they're pretty fun to fish for. But he kind of just took it and ran. There's also this channel in here. I didn't get much of a chance to fish it last week, so I'm seeing about 15 15.5 feet deep in here. There's a dam right here. And as far as I know, the creek bed that comes through here still exists on the bottom. So I'm running parallel to the dam. I should hopefully see it drop a few feet and then rise back up, and that'll tell me where that creek bed is. I caught a fish. Just rolling through. Nice little crappie here. Come on. Didn't even mark them on the fish finder. There we go. That's a better one than the one I had before. There we go. What do we got? Nice little smallmouth. Little baby smallmouth. Hey, stop trying to bite me. Whoa. Let's get you back in so you can get bigger. Oh, that's all right. Yep, he was hanging out in those lily pads. Came out of nowhere and just hit it. There we go. Yeah. Pumpkin seed. Come on. I didn't bring out my pliers here. There we go. There we go. Another nice little bass. Come on. Don't do that. You're supposed to let me get the hook out. There we go. There we go. Nice little guy. Not too bad at all. Ready to go right back in. Well, guys, it's been a beautiful morning. It started off really hectic for fishing. I caught some of my best fish pretty early on. But Seems like everything's slowing down in here. I might do a few more casts here and there, but I think I'm going to spend the rest of the trip scouting out the north end of this pond for duck season. Seems to be a bunch of nice little coves up in here, some grass. I'm thinking of taking this kayak out hunting. I'll probably do like some stakeout poles, lash them to either side just for stability, and then maybe put a shotgun mount in front of me, keep it behind me. I'm not sure. I did it out of a canoe last year. It worked fairly well. Obviously, the draw to this guy would be having the pedals. So up until I get into the shallows, I can go along at a pretty decent clip. But as you can see, all through here, there's a lot of nice reeds. And depending on what the die-off is and how well these things stay in place in the fall, I'm thinking of backing into these and pulling a cover over my head. Or, again, pound some stakes into the mud up here and kind of drape the cover over my head that way. At least you don't really get to see me from overhead. Have a nice window out in front of me. That's the idea, at least. Lots of little minnows hanging out up here as well. So I think at some point, the water's still kind of making steam over there. I think at some point what I might do is set a minnow trap up here, let that sit for an hour or two, go collect what I have, and then go hit the channel down the center for catfish. Or if I can get these guys during the early spring or even in fall, if I get a crappy day of duck hunting, maybe I might go crappie fishing instead. And these minnows would be perfect for that. So, I don't know. All right, I'm going to leave you off here. Till next time. And as always, hit the like button. I believe it's somewhere down there. Hit the subscribe button. It's the little red button that's like right there. And then there's comments right down here. Go ahead and leave one. See you next time. Stop it. There we go. Nice little guy who's hanging out in the underneath the carpets. Fishing those, looking for him. Another crappie. sight casted this one. Yeah. There we go. Catch and release. Just inside the lip. Nice little guy. Not the dink of the day, but not a monster. Nice little guy right here. Barely hooked him. Right in the mats.